la! Your dream vacation to Singapore starts from rupees 44,999 only with GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
Hello and welcome to Galatta Plus. In this video review episode, we're going to be talking about Suman Kumar's Raghuthatha, which has Keerthy Suresh in the lead role. This is a sweet, watchable film that struggles to live up to its potential. In Raghuthatha, Keerthy Suresh plays Kayalvidi. She's a bank employee who is an activist about two things. One, she does not like the imposition of Hindi. She has no problem with the language itself, and indeed there is a man from the northeast who says that learning various Indian languages has helped him find jobs in various cities. What Kayalvidi hates is that Hindi is being forced down the throats of the people of Valluvanpettai. Note the name of the town, Valluvanpettai. It proudly wears its Tamil credentials. The other thing that provokes Kayalvidi is patriarchy, which comes in many forms. At home, she chooses to wear shirts, and when asked why, she counter asks if only men can wear shirts. This is a broad film and the messaging is obvious. Every now and then, we get very direct scenes like the one about a girl who wanted to be a collector but was married off at 15. Writer-director Suman Kumar's premise is interesting, and the one line of the plot kicks off when Kayalvidi is asked to get married in order to make the family happy. She does not want to get married, but the twist is that she feels she has to. She could have simply said no and gone on to do whatever she wanted, but the times are such that the family's emotional manipulation forces Kayalvidi to think like a woman and not as an activist. After all, we all carry multiple selves within ourselves. She picks a man named Tamil Selvan, played by Ravindra Vijay, who reveals himself as a progressive thinker and a man who is working on the electrification of villages. In a beautiful scene, they go back and forth about a promotion to Calcutta that will give Kayalvidi a higher salary than Tamil Selvan. He states that it might not be the best thing because his work is important too, as is his mother. Kayalvidi does not argue. She does not become an activist. She is swayed by what seems to be a very logical argument. Like she's reminded a lot of the time, she decides to adjust like a good woman should. Despite the language imposition, despite the internalized and external patriarchy, Raghuthatha does not aim to be a story rooted in hard realism. We meet a young man named Kamal Ha. He looks like the dude who played the lead in Balu Mahendra's Kokila, and he's trying to direct a movie. The title of Raghuthatha itself comes from a K. Bagheera joke in a movie that may have come after this film's timeline. And Kayalvidi is forced to hide her female identity while writing her fiery stories for magazines. Never mind that writers like Lakshmi had been serving Tamil readers since the 1940s. With Sean Roldan's bouncy score and Yamini Yagnamurthy's palette of warm colors, Raghuthatha sticks to an upbeat mood. There are odd, interesting bits like someone who writes anonymous letters, and I laughed loud at a line that starts sounding like a bit of philosophy but ends with a reference to diarrhea. Suman Kumar sets up various hurdles that lead to a climax that's a comedy of confusion, and the last half hour does deliver on this count. Hurdle 1 has to do with Kayalvidi's grandfather. Hurdle 2 has to do with a discovery about Tamil Selvan. Hurdle 3 has to do with Hindi imposition. Hurdle 4 is the fact that Kayalvidi has chosen to align herself with the patriarchy and she has to snap out of it and become her old self again. And this is where the film becomes a bit messy. If you are in for just an easy watch with a heroine in top form and a host of likable supporting characters, Raghuthatha may be just what the doctor prescribed. MS Bhaskar and Devadarshini get a few decent lines, though much of the dialogue writing sounds like filler. There could have been more flavor. Ismat Banu is a scream as Kayalvidi's sister-in-law, and a delivery of a line about a lorry driver, it's to die for. But though the scenes are cleanly written, the pacing is off and the various hurdles are not crossed as satisfyingly as you'd like. There are too many conveniences, there are too many easy resolutions. We meet a man who is an MCP of the highest order, yet he wants an educated bride, and he writes out all his misogynistic thoughts in a diary kept conveniently where anyone can pick it up and read it. Later, a convenient dig about him makes him confess all his dirty secrets. At one point, I began to wonder why Kayalvidi could not simply talk to her family about the major problems she faces, especially with marriage. Is her grandfather really that unreasonable a man? There are two ways this could have been addressed. One, the comedy should have been so breathless and so frantic that we are given no time to think at all. And when that didn't happen, I began to wonder if this material would have been better off as a drama. Kayalvidi is forced to use tricks and ruses in order to get what she really wants, and because the treatment is breezy and easy, it becomes hard to stick with or care about anything or anyone. The minor comic bits are okay, but the major part of the narrative struggles to maintain a tone that can make the characters seem convincing even as the things that they do get wilder and more farcical. Raghuthatha plays out at a quiet pace, and it is a relief to see a film that lets its scenes and actors breathe, but even at 2 hours and 15 minutes, the strain shows. The material seems stretched. There is a sequence where Kyle Viddy writes an exam, and it's a little summary of the film itself. Parts of it are wonderfully nuts, but parts of it are not pushed enough. The stakes should have been higher. Keerthy Suresh is earnest and watchable, and you could say the same about Raghuthatha, but it had the potential to be so much more. That's it about Raghuthatha. If you like this video review, do subscribe to Galatta Plus, and see you soon at the movies.
Hola! Your dream vacation to Singapore starts from rupees 44,999 only with GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.